Hello, and you are listening to FPcast, the podcast for Fruitless pursuits where we bullshit about the week in pop culture. I'm Luke.
And I'm Jacinta.
And this week we are talking about...
movies, television, collectibles, video games, comics, books, board games, and more.
Hammers.
Big doggos.
Lokis. I heard there was a Loki in there, causing
Yeah.
mischief
Yes.
all over the place.
Yes, little bit of mischief.
Finally, we have arrived at Marvel's third offering for the year. We saw Thor Ragnarok, which hasn't even been released in America yet.
No,
Sucks to be those guys.
sure does.
We're number one. not when it comes to watching Thor, you know.
Or Avengers. Didn't that first Avengers movie come out like a month after it
everything.
came out
All the
here?
Marvel
So
ones.
crazy.
Yeah. The only thing we waited for this year was Lego Batman, I think. But out of the big movies.
Yeah.
Oh, Planet of the Apes we waited a bit, didn't we? But the Marvel ones we get.
Yeah, we do. And I mean, this one was filmed here, so we should get it first.
We should absolutely.
It's ours. It's our goddamn movie.
You could look out the window and watch it because it was happening right here. That's how good that was. So we're going to be talking about that and do a bit of a spoiler-free review of Stranger Things 2, which I've watched. You haven't watched any of it. I've watched all of it.
Yeah,
Are you going to watch it?
probably.
Okay. So
Like,
yeah.
I'm not, I
You're
enjoyed
not in a hurry.
No, I enjoyed the first Stranger Things, but it didn't leave me, like, gagging for more. I'll watch it before the end of the year, but I'm not that bothered.
Well, then we definitely can review it today. Because otherwise it could be forever.
Oh, yeah, like, I'm not going to probably watch in the next couple of weeks.
Yeah,
I started
alright.
watching Crazy Ex-Girlfriend instead. I'm really enjoying that. So
Okay.
until that finishes, sorry, Stranger Things.
Sure. Well, you know, spooky Halloweens. I'm going to talk about Stranger Things 2. And there's even some news. So, holy shit.
Some news?
Yeah.
God, it's been weeks since we've had news.
We've had a lot of tricks. This episode, though, is a full-on treat.
Well, do we want to promise that this early?
Should we start it? We should have started with a bit of a Halloween sort of spooky theme, shouldn't we?
Well, I don't know. I mean, Halloween's just not a thing here.
But I didn't even go woo at the beginning, which is
Yeah.
what I would normally do.
The only thing about Halloween is, like, just making sure that your front door's closed so that if any little shithead kids come wanting, like, lollies or whatever, that you just pretend you're not home. That's how Halloween happens here.
What an edgelord.
No, 1 year. No shit. 1 year, I'd completely forgotten it was Halloween because,
Yeah.
like, it's fucking Halloween. We don't do it here. And these kids came to my door dressed as, like, spoopy ghosts or whatever. And I was like, oh my God, I have nothing. I had to give them, like loose Tim Tams, like chocolate biscuits. And they were like, oh. And I'm like, what the fuck do you want?
Tim Tams are great.
I mean, they are, but, like, it's just chocolate. You know, like, it's not in a little wrapping or anything. You're just putting chocolate in your dirty little Halloween bag. And then at the end of the night, it's going to be, like, gross and covered in lint. That's
Well,
horrible.
That one's for the road, though. That's one, like, you eat on your way to the next house. Give you
yeah,
strength,
maybe.
Give you the energy.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. You didn't have to give them anything.
I didn't have to give them anything, but I would have been, like, quite awful if I'd given them nothing.
Well, look, we might have dropped the ball, or is it a pumpkin? But Dungeons and Drongos has a Halloween episode tomorrow, so look out for that. That's going to be very, very spooky indeed. All right, so talking of Australia getting things before other people, we were pretty lucky with Nintendo finally did this release info thing. Everyone kind of knew they were going to show off Animal Crossing, the mobile version, but didn't expect that straight after the reveal, we here in Down Under would actually be able to download the thing and start playing it straight away. How great is that?
Yeah, the most infuriating thing is that I don't know if it dropped at exactly the same time, but I know that everyone with Android had seemed to be downloading it first, and I was like, this is not good. I don't like this at all.
I loved it.
I know you fucking loved it. You were going, oh, I'm doing this. And I'm like, fucking, and what was it, like Thursday night or something?
Yeah.
That it dropped. And I was sitting there in my little search thing in my, in the app store, just search. Wasn't coming up. And I was like, holy shit, what is the cheapest Android phone that I can buy tomorrow so that I can play this game? And then I went back into the front page of the App Store, and there it is, a big fucking banner on the front page of the App Store going, do you want to play Animal Crossing? I'm like, fucking oath I do.
So it is we have been playing, a lot of friends have been playing.
Yeah.
This has got to be the only game where I'm actually getting regular friend requests and having my friends list fill up. And they have allowed you to link it with Twitter and with Facebook as well, which makes it a lot easier. So I've got a ton of people on here, which is good because I don't sell anything in my little market thing. I think I've got one bug. I just can't be asked because I'm using it all. I'm going really quickly. But I do buy from people. And
People never have the shit that I want.
shout out to friends of the show, Grug and Jessica, who very socially conscious have very good prices. Very pleased with them. You're a bit steep, my friend, sometimes, comparatively.
I just put basically the proprietor of a camping ground. And you build stuff in your campground and you invite other villagers to come and hang out in your campground, and then you go to other campgrounds and do like little tasks and stuff for people, and it's cool. It's good.
It's really about making friends, isn't it? With the animals and getting them, leveling up the friendship with them, which unlocks more animals and more items as you level
and
up.
leveling yourself up, which gets you more storage space and stuff like that.
But it's not a set world, it's or like a one sort of open world like the other one is. It's actually 8 distinct areas. Like there's 2 different fishing areas, a river and a sea. There's a bug island. There's a fruit area. And you sort of go back and forward between these 8 small areas.
Yeah.
But they enable you to get everything that you want. And the roster of animals seems pretty big so far. And you can pimp out your wagon, pimp out your campsite. It's all pretty cool. What level are you?
I'm about 22 3/4, I think.
I'm 24, and it is definitely slowing down, and the animals are getting more and more greedy in terms of what they want. And a lot of them cap at level 7 unless you have certain things.
Yeah, I've started doing that. I've got the cute tent, so it means that my cute animals can keep leveling up. I've got someone at level 8 at the moment. And it should be finishing tonight, the tent with the fire and the flames and shit on it that'll allow your cool animals to keep leveling up.
And I did the reverse. I've got the cool and I'm doing the cute. Have you got any amenities yet?
Well, technically your tents are your amenities.
Oh, no, but they're like the extra thing? Like I've got the street scene now?
No, well, you have to level up your cool tent, and I don't have my cool tent yet. But I leveled up my cute tent, and so I have access to the tree swing, which I haven't built yet, but I will.
Yeah, so I got the street scene. It took 48 hours to build, and this lion is there, and he's busking, and he's just doing a fucking great job. I'm trying to fill it up with all the, sexy animals.
Of course you are.
So I've got a lot of bunnies there, and a few cats, and we're having a grand old time. I'm wearing my Hawaiian shirt and my star sunglasses, and just loving it. So, yeah, good so far.
Yeah, it is good.
It's kind of limited, but in the same way that, Pokemon Go is really limited. You get excited about it coming out, and then you play it for a bit, and you go, okay, I kind of see that that's about all I can do right now. But it's designed for you to play a bit each day and to slowly level things up.
And the thing that did frustrate me at first is obviously in the normal game you can plant fruit, you can make your own little orchard, which can be a source of income and stuff like that. This you can't. You've only got a set amount of fruit trees. They rejuvenate every 3 hours. And that's it. That's all you've got. And that was a little bit frustrating at first. But the good thing about the game, which the original game did not have, is your storage is huge. And storage was always a huge issue in the original game. I actually went back yesterday and played the original game for quite a while. I was going to just delete my whole town and start again. But once I got in there, I saw all the stuff I'd done and all the shit that I'd accumulated. And I just went, I can't wipe all of this. So I just kind of kept going on.
I was confused when you said that. I went back and got my game, and I just was like, I have no idea where to even start, what I'm supposed to be doing. I had trouble digging a hole because I pressed on the thing and I'm expecting it to put the shovel in my hand automatically.
Yeah.
And then I go into my house and look around, and it's a crazy person's house. There is a room off to the side. I'm like, what's this room? I go in. It's like a business room. It's got a desk, and the desk is facing a bank of about 30 television sets. And I'm like, yeah, this is a super villain room.
Yeah. I was actually quite surprised with my house because I'd forgotten everything. It had probably been 2 years since I'd played this game. And I went in, and the first room that I got into was just garbage. Like, it was full of those little musical wooden guys.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, this is shit. But all my other little rooms were all like curated I had a little library which had the library wallpaper, and I had like musical instruments and stuff in there. It looked so classy.
I've got an arcade.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's very cool.
And I'd forgotten that in the museum you can have your own museum exhibits, and I went in there and I'd done all the like Nintendo related like items and clothing that you could buy, and I had this whole exhibit set up with like all the Mario hats and stuff, and I was like, oh my god, Past Me was rad.
Yeah. So there's a tease. That's probably very alienating for anyone who doesn't know what the fuck we're talking about or care. Let's talk about some movie news.
Okay.
So Zachary Levi, you know this guy, Fandral in Thor.
The worst Fandral, but yes.
Who was the first Fandral?
Josh Dallas.
Okay.
He left to go and do Once Upon a Time.
So Zachary Levi has been cast as Shazam. Now Shazam isn't the character's name. The character is Captain Marvel, but that's confusing because Brie Larson is playing the Marvel Captain Marvel, and then DC have got their own
Shazam.
Captain Marvel who says Shazam in order to turn into Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
And Shazam is like a acronym. It's like 6 power words.
Oh yeah.
Like the wisdom of Solomon, the
Hercules,
the
something.
O's next. No, H is next. Yeah. I was going for Solomon. H.
There's no O in it at all.
Hercules. A is the jumpsuit of April O'Neil. Z. Oh, that's Zeus. Got to be Zeus. That's easy. A is.
A would be like Apollo. Apollo? Aries?
Oh, there was
Apollo.
The boots of April O'Neil. And M is.
Yeah.
No one can think of anything starting with M.
No.
Is there any famous people that start with M?
The charisma of Mickey Mouse.
There you go.
Yeah.
The gloves.
Yeah, just one glove.
So Shazam, like, he's a boy, right? He's a child.
Yes.
And then he turns into Zachary Levi. So it's going to have, like, some big kind of subtext as well, right? Like Tom Hanks is big. Or like that movie where that little boy grew into Jennifer Garner. You know, like that kind of weird thing. So hopefully there'll be some jokes like that as well, where he, like, you know, looks down the front of his pants and goes, whoa,
what happened there?
Yeah, talks about his pubes and stuff. So that's a bit of fun. But the reason I bring this up as well, because this seems to be DC, like, at the old buffet, at the Sizzler, putting far more on their plate than they can possibly eat right now, without even knowing if they like this thing that they're putting on their plate. You know what I mean? Because they've consistently made these grand plans of, oh, we're going to do this and this and this and this, and then because the movies don't perform how they want, they have to shuffle everything around again. And I mean, you know, we're seeing this, it's not just DC as well, like the Dark Universe. You know what I mean?
Oh dear.
We're going to make 37 films about the Dark Universe, and they're going to be the best, and that's everyone's lives from now on. Here's the Mummy. Whoops, okay, forget about that.
But they'd already gone, whoops, forget about that with Dracula Untold.
Yeah.
So, like, they're starting off badly.
Yeah,
they continue badly,
reboot.
and they go, whoa.
And a lot of things. It's like, you know, you're hearing now, oh, there's going to be the Dark Tower TV series. It's still going to go ahead, but it's going to be a complete reboot and not do anything that was in the... And it's like, what? Like, these are very quick shuffle arounds. So, before you get too excited about Zachary Levi being Shazam, and I'm sure, you know...
At least 4 people are excited about Zachary.
That combination.
Yeah.
First, there's got to be a Black Adam movie, apparently. So they're going to make a movie about the bad guy first, which is The Rock.
Was that confirmed, or was that still...
Yeah, that's what I'm still reading.
Yeah, okay.
Is that first you get the solo Black Adam movie, and then you get him going off against Shazam. So... if I was Zachary Levi, I'd keep those dates in my calendar a little flexy.
Yeah, I wouldn't be locking out other job offers at this point. Yeah.
And speaking of which, also we've got these rumors of a Deathstroke, the Terminator, another DC character, sort of anti-hero-y kind of guy, and the guy that they part inspiration rip off for Deadpool, because he's Slade Wilson, Deadpool is Wade Wilson, and their costumes are kind of similar, and you know, swords and guns. Pew, pew, slice, slice, all that sort of stuff. Now, this was Joe Manganiello.
Manganiello.
Yeah, it was the guy that was cast as this. Remember, we saw that footage of him ages ago.
Yeah.
And then it was like he was going to be the bad guy in the Batman movie, and then that movie is all over the place. So like, is Ben Affleck doing it? Is he not doing it? Is he directing it? Is someone else doing it? Does it fit into the continuity? Does it not fit into the continuity? Is Ben Affleck too problematic these days? All these issues. So then it's like, oh, we'll give Deathstroke his own movie instead. But again, like, what are you doing, DC? Just do something simple. Just do Wonder Woman 2. Let's just do that and see what else.
Let's do the movie that people actually want.
But Deathstroke would be directed by, rumour is that Gareth Evans is circling around it. Not to be confused with Edwards, who did Rogue One. Evans did The Raid and Raid 2.
Yeah. Oh, The Raid's cool.
There you go. Yeah. Action. You want some action?
Yeah, you want people kicking each other in the face, that's the guy.
And while we're talking about all this speculative superhero stuff, all my news here is speculative superhero stuff. What do you reckon about this thing of Taika saying that if he could choose anything next he'd do for Marvel, he'd do Black Widow? A Black Widow movie, I think. He would direct a Black Widow movie.
Yeah.
What if those two hooked up? Can you imagine that? I can't imagine
It'd
that.
be too powerful.
Wow.
Yeah, I can imagine it. I've got pages of fan fiction.
I think she likes funny guys.
Yeah, I would be...
Might be hard without going into our review of Thor Ragnarok.
It really would be. I would be cautious regarding the tone.
Maybe not all things fit all things.
That is what I would say. Yes, I think that Taika is good at some things, but I think what a really good Black Widow movie would need would probably not be what Taika can give it.
It would need to be more balanced than what we probably got with Thor.
Yes,
I don't think Thor is a well-rounded movie.
No, and I think that the Black Widow movie would be tonally probably more like the Captain America movies than a lot of the other stuff in the Marvel Universe.
Yeah.
So, I would be not concerned about his competence. I would be concerned about the tone of the film. Yeah, really.
And I think there should be some humor, and I think Scarlett can be quite funny, and you want characters around that have charisma and have what's the word I'm looking for when people's chemistry? Yeah. With each other. We never did any chemistry. You want that, but at the same time, I think there needs to be some point where there's stakes, where, there's some sort of... It seems silly to say seriousness in these kind of movies, but... We're going to get to it with Ragnarok.
Yeah. They need to be grounded, and I think that's how the Captain America movies are so successful and have been consistently successful, because it operates within a very solid world. But anyway.
Yeah, I agree. The characters are fun. They're funny. They like each other. They work well together, but the stakes are serious, and there's usually a bit where we go, all right, now we have to really take this bit seriously and go for it. And I don't know if that's Taika's bag yet. I feel like he's got that more... Well, comics are kind of silly. So, which they are. So there's no reason for us to take this seriously. And I kind of get that as well. But I do think you begin to make a decision there. And it's like that kind of decision that you're making of, are we going to make, third Batman movie in the 90s? Are we going to make another Batman Returns, or are we going to do Batman Forever now? And you start to veer into a different type of... Because, that's what you see there, where they go, everything's becoming too dark, too serious. Let's get colourful and camp and kind of silly. And it's definitely a choice. But then I think as anyone watching this stuff and commenting on this stuff, I feel like you kind of have to be honest that, you guys bagged all that sort of stuff. But really, that's where our characters are sort of heading now, is back into that broad Batman Forever sort of thing. And, when Batman Forever came out, people weren't like, oh, fuck, this is terrible. People were pretty into it. So, there you go.
I was.
Well, yeah, people of a certain age fucking love that thing. So, yeah. And then final bit of speculative superhero schniz is Captain Marvel's villain, the rumour, and we know the Skrulls are the bad guys, so presumably this would be the Super Skrull, our mate Mendo.
Oh yeah, I did read that the other day.
Yeah.
Yes, very excited by that. Good on you, Mendo.
Good old Mendo, mate. You
What a
know,
ripping bloody champion.
and to do the Star Wars and then to do the Marvel as well, that's two big franchise pies for Disney. Got a finger in each one.
Yeah, good on him. Good on him.
So
What a legend.
I'd love to see it. I'd love to see a big Ochre Super Skrull.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not a big ochre Super Scroll. But yeah, no, I think Mendo would be he's great in everything. Have you seen any Mendo do anything where he was shit?
No.
No. There you go.
No. He's got a presence. Did you watch that Una? Did you ever end up watching that?
No, I haven't, because I feel like it might make me feel a bit bad. And
Feel bad because you're still attracted to him?
probably a little bit, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, sometimes I sit down and I just want to chill and watch a movie, and I don't want to watch something that's going to make me feel a bit creepy.
Hey, look.
So, you know.
There's enough creepy things happening in the real world. Why have that in your downtime?
Why? Yeah, exactly. Why drag it in? And I know you said that was the last piece of news, but are we really not going to talk about the Michael Bay Dora thing? Because that is like my favourite piece of news from the week.
Yeah, I think it's like blown up. Like this idea, okay, it's Michael Bay producing. Like his company
doing nothing. Like
produces a billion different things, and it doesn't mean anything. It's like with him producing Ninja Turtles. Everyone's like, oh, it's Bay's Ninja Turtles. Of course it's fucking not. He's producing. He's doing nothing. It's just like it's like someone on the Shark Tank going, oh yeah, I'll put in for your fidgety doodle McWhatsit you just invented. You know, it doesn't mean they're suddenly like there every
It's
day
their
working
thing,
on
yeah.
it. You know, it's just it's portfolio.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
I'd love to see a Dora with Michael Bay explosions and CGI monkeys and stuff like that. It'd be
which
great. It'd be amazing.
Is the leap that everybody makes of, oh well, Michael Bay's producing, so therefore it's like if you want to know what a producer does, watch the fucking episode of The Simpsons and realize that 15 minutes into it you were still getting producer credits down the bottom of the screen. Like not all those people are being particularly helpful or active.
Yeah, if someone made a minor decision in the entire production, they're a producer.
Yeah. If I can be a producer from kickstarting something.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. So, yeah, probably won't be the explosion-filled Dora Explorer movie that everybody hopes, but maybe it will be like a big action adventure. Why not? Indiana Jones, that shit.
Yeah. I mean, Dora's fine. I've only seen a little bit of Dora, but kids seem to like it, and it doesn't seem to be like really, really annoying. So, whatever. Get me like a big live-action Boots the Monkey, and we're good to go.
Yeah, I'd fucking love to see it. Who's your dream casting for Boots the Monkey?
Oh well, I don't know. I haven't thought quite that far ahead. I mean, Diego, just to be lazy, we've just got to say Diego Luna.
Yeah.
I don't know about Dora. I don't know. I can't say that I've actually thought about my live casting for a Dora the Explorer movie to this point.
I want
Maybe like America Ferrera.
yeah. I want Paul Giamatti as Boots the Monkey.
Okay.
There you go.
Done.
Should I review Thor?
Yeah.
I mean, like, this is just all being filler, right? This is the thing where they're listening to hear what we thought of Thor, and they just put up with all sorts of nonsense. It get very agitated.
That's like the show every week, though, isn't it?
Kind of
Just
is.
a whole bunch of filler
I
nonsense.
feel very, I don't know, sort of weirdly sort of mellow and out of it. And I've stuck to my guns. I haven't had anything to drink. I'm not hungover at all this weekend. But I just like slept all day yesterday, pretty much. Yeah, I don't know what it is. Just not in a very like fast, funny mood. But Thor Ragnarok.
That's a movie.
It is a movie. Third one, Taika Waititi, who we absolutely love. The internet is just crazy though, isn't it? Can we start there maybe? Like,
Yeah, because I was like, the hype train has been strong, to put it lightly.
everything's like either the best thing ever or just the worst fucking shit you've ever seen. And I have a feeling that a lot of things are kind of somewhere in the middle.
Yeah.
Like, on Letterboxd, putting my score in, and which I have lowered a bit. And people are like, I want Taika Waititi to direct every movie from now on, and Taika is the best, and all this sort of stuff. And
This is the first and only Taika Waititi movie I've seen, but I want him to direct everything.
And it's like, yeah, he is really great. He's really funny. We've talked about all the wonderful things he's done behind the scenes as well. It's a thoroughly entertaining movie, beginning to end. I really enjoyed it and I laughed. There's some really funny stuff in there, but I don't love it. And I also think that it, the problem with it being so, like, right from the beginning, when Thor's near a villain that, is sort of being built up in trailers and things for you to think, well, this is a pretty scary dude. He's not scared. He doesn't give a crap. And you just go, oh, well, if you don't think this is a threat, I don't think it's a threat. And that's kind of where I am all through the movie. Like, I just think if you guys are still one-linering and just sort of relax through all this, I never am invested to the point where I think, I'm on the edge of my seat. What's going to happen next? You guys are in peril. I never feel that once in this film. I just go along for a breezy ride.
Yeah, and I was very much the same. It's the best Thor movie by far.
Oh, absolutely.
I think.
Yep.
As far as ranking the Marvel movies, I don't think it wouldn't be making my top 5 for me. It wouldn't be my favourite superhero movie of the year, even.
Let's talk about that, because that's a discussion happening on our... is it happening on our page, or was it happening on...
The discussion group.
On Ian's personal thing. Anyway, I've been involved in a discussion like this. What would your favourite superhero movie of the year be?
The one I enjoyed the most was Wonder Woman.
Oh, yeah.
The movie that I think was probably the best Marvel movie of the year, even though I don't really like Spider-Man, was Spider-Man.
I agree. And I agree because it's so balanced. It balances humour, it balances stakes, there are feels, there are like, oh shit, what's going to happen? Are you going to hold this together?
And it's true to the character. And that's all I want really out of these films.
And a really excellent villain too.
Yeah,
someone that's actually threatening, but also nuanced. You do have some sort of empathy. It has a life beyond, I'm going to kill Spider-Man.
Yeah.
So I agree. I think Spider-Man, and again, not one of my favourite characters either, but I think that brings all the elements together very well, whereas I don't think Taika is really interested in a lot of that stuff. I don't think, I think we've got to think about the reality of how these movies are made, and the fact that you get someone like Taika to come along because he's good with actors and he's going to be easy to get along with and he's going to do the job. But most of what he's doing, I would assume, really is that 2-month or whatever it is shoot. But when you get to all the action sequences and stuff like that, and there are many things which are all CGI, that's not Taika directing, really. These are things where people have done animatics, have done storyboards. He's looked at them and said, yep, go ahead with that. And then you can see from the credits, they go off to 15 different effects houses around the world. Taika's not at all 15 effects houses around the world looking over their shoulder. And I imagine when the shots come back, just from the time and the money thing, it's not like you go... someone brings back a fully rendered fight with the Hulk and you go, nah, can we try it this way?
You just go for it.
You've bought that shot, unless there's some egregious error.
Yeah.
So all of that stuff, all those like big, broad cityscapes and chases and creatures and everything, that's not really Taika. Taika is those scenes where you see Bruce and Thor sitting and talking, or, those bits and pieces. And, I feel like all that extra stuff, all that action and everything, I don't feel his attachment to that as much, to be honest.
No, it almost feels like the most admirable thing about his involvement in this movie is that he just seemed to get a lot of stuff through. Like, it almost seemed like he was just sort of going, well, let's try this, and let's see how this goes, and let's have a go at this. And allowing a lot of the actors, they did say they let them improv a lot, which I think was successful in varying degrees. You let Jeff Goldblum improvise, just magic.
He's not going to surprise you in terms of the way he plays this character.
No,
he's definitely Jeff Goldblum.
It's
just
fantastic,
being Jeff Goldblum,
yeah.
but it
But
works.
there's other characters that you're sort of watching them going, oh, this is a bit awkward, and not in that kind of funny Taika Waititi awkward standing around kind of way, in a bit like, oh, maybe I would have edited that a little bit differently so they weren't kind of... There's a scene that...
It's definitely a character that could be edited out entirely.
Oh, God, yes,
Who-
but I don't think he would have had a choice in that.
Yeah.
There's a scene where it's not a spoiler because it's a scene that has been released, and I watched it again the other day on Facebook. It's the one where Thor and Loki are talking in the elevator, and Thor's talking about how they're gonna like defeat the guys, and Loki says, no, I hate that, it's humiliating. And they go and do the thing, and it works and whatever, and then Thor goes, wasn't that great? And then Loki pops up and goes, no, I hate it, it's humiliating. And it's like, for him to say the exact same thing within like 2 minutes of our time, even though it's a completely different scene for that actor, it just felt so awkward and weird. And it's like, couldn't you, like, I know you've probably done 15 different takes with different lines. Why use that exact same line again? Because it was weird. And I don't want to sit there in the film and be actively questioning the decisions that are being made in this film, which I did a lot, and that kind of sucks as a viewer.
Well, it's tricky because, you know, there's people going, oh, like you said, they're like discovering Taika for the first time. Oh, it's wonderful. But when you look at what he's done in the past, one, he's able to really get feels out of everything he's done in the past. He's been able to, even with his like broadest comedies, he's been able to find that really relatable... I'm talking about things like Boy.
Yeah.
There's something really meaningful under all that.
Boy's beautiful. I love Boy.
And I didn't find... There's no feels in Thor.
No.
There's never a point where I had the feels. Two, like when he's having this improv approach, he's working with people like Jermaine Clement and Rhys Darby. And,
Who are just absolute masters.
Yeah, and they're bringing out this wonderful stuff. And as you said, not everybody's at that level in this film, unfortunately. I think Hemsworth is absolutely endearing and enjoyable and entertaining. Like, I love watching him, but he's still like a little bit of a fish out of water there. But not so much as like Ruffalo half the time just looks like he doesn't know what is happening.
Ruffalo was doing his best Woody Allen for most of that film.
And you got to imagine as well, like Ruffalo, the way he's been playing that character previously and the films that he's been in and what he's been asked of, he's been in had those more grounded moments, and now he's in like that bit where his character's coming to terms with the fact that he's in space. He's like, well, it's kind of necessary that we address that, but we kind of want to sweep it under the rug as quickly as possible. And it's this kind of I think that's an awkward... That's the scene which I watched and went, you filmed this on the first day in Queensland, because it just the lighting, everything, there's no atmosphere, there's nothing about... It's just two people talking on a little set piece, and it just feels...
And there were multiple scenes like that where it felt like... It didn't feel like you were in that location or that moment. It looked like they were sitting on a soundstage with shitty lighting and surrounded by green screen.
And that's what I mean.
And it's like, oh!
There's a very pivotal moment which just looks awful because it looks like green screen. It doesn't look like they were there at all.
Yeah. And it like the Thor movies kind of frustrate me because they should be such a home run for me. Like, and especially this movie in particular just should just be kicking goals and I should have no issues with it. But the first 15 to 20 minutes for me, I hated it. I hated the start of
I didn't mind
film.
the very start. Obviously, when that other character comes in who's kind of shoehorned because he was promised in a previous movie that he would be in. I'm not going to say his name just because not everyone might know, although it was advertised and he is in one of the trailers, I'm pretty sure. But that's not a spoiler then, is it? Like, people know he's in
Look, it's in the first couple of minutes. I don't think it's going to ruin anything for anybody.
And if you've seen his movie, you know that he's involved in this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the worst fucking Marvel character to have his own film. There you go.
There's a bit of Doctor Strange in it.
There is.
And I thought Cumberbatch would be better when he starts to work with these other characters.
Yeah.
He's so not in the same league. To think that this is a guy that everybody was like, he's the best actor ever, who is now like the worst actor in one of these series. Like, his American accent is fucking awful in this. Like, yeah, it just needs to go. That bit shouldn't be there. And even like, there is some awkwardness. Like Tessa Thompson there's something awkward about it, and I love Tessa Thompson as Valkyrie, but
I came into this thinking I'm going to fucking love Valkyrie. Valkyrie is going to be my favorite character. And I have never gone from to so quickly with a character. She walks out of that spaceship, sculls the long neck, and I'm like, yes! And then what they then reveal about her character and then continue to mine with her character, I was like, that's not funny. Like, that was funny maybe like in the 90s or back when like, I don't know, when Andy Capp was funny or something. But I just thought it was just kind of a boring, shitty choice for that character, and it wasn't funny.
And Blanchett looks amazing. She does such a great job.
Oh, yeah.
But that's what I mean. We're getting to a Batman Forever villain. It's a campy villain.
Yeah.
And
she didn't look like she was on the set half the time with the other characters. It looked like she was completely removed from them all the time.
And Carl Urban is a total cartoon character as well.
I actually thought that he probably had the best arc of the film.
Yeah.
No, I mean, to be fair, nobody had a fucking arc.
Yeah, I guess, yeah. Yeah, but he's a cartoon character.
He is, yeah. And his introduction was fucked too. Like, he was in that first 15 minutes where everybody's introduction just had me going, are we going to have a whole movie of this? This is what's happening? Because I'm very concerned about what's going on here.
It sounds super negative now, and I think that the thing is most people are going to go, and our audience are going to go and they're going to really enjoy it. And it is very entertaining. Like,
it is. Like, I got to the end of it and I was like, yeah, that was pleasant.
There's some fucking great dialogue in here. There's some really great jokes. I found it funnier than like Guardians 2, for example. I laughed a lot. Taika's character that he plays was great. Maybe you used a little bit too much.
Yeah, it was funny. Like halfway through the movie, I was like, man, Porg life is over. I'm all about Korg life. And then by the end of the film, I was like, no, I'm good.
I love the design. I love that this is a movie that's not afraid to bring out that 60s Kirby cosmic stuff.
Yeah, Sakaar looked amazing.
Yeah, and like the guards and some of the background characters and just the way that they are in full crazy Kirby cosmic outfits. I just love that they did all that. I loved Hemsworth. I think there's some genuinely like hilarious surprises in there which you're going to enjoy. I think the music's great. I think that Anthony Hopkins was great. There's a lot that I like. It was a really entertaining movie, and that all said, I don't think we're far off the scale, because like when we're there, they're pushing the fact that okay, it's 90 something on Rotten Tomatoes. The majority of people are giving it the thumbs up.
Well, yeah, if you're going to go thumbs up or thumbs down, yeah, of course it's a thumbs up.
And we are definitely part of that majority. We give it the thumbs up. If you look on Metacritic, it's about 7.3.
Yeah,
out of 10?
I think on Letterboxd it was 3.9. I gave it a 3.5, so that's pretty much exactly
I gave it a 4, and then thinking about it, gave it a 3.5. I'm going to see it again later today because Suzanne didn't get to see it, and then maybe that'll change. Maybe I'll enjoy it more the second time.
Yeah, I would like to see it again, and I think it would benefit from a second viewing for me, kind of knowing what it is now.
Yeah.
The thing that I didn't really like at first was that the humour was so goofy. And I expected it to be a little bit less kind of slapstick and silly and maybe a little bit sharper and cleverer, being that it was Taika. But, I mean, it was always going to be broad. It has to be broad comedy, and that's always the way it was going to be. And maybe, it was just me coming in expecting something a little bit better, because I think, once you've seen What We Do in the Shadows, you kind of expect everything to be as funny as that, which is not fair.
Yeah.
Because that's Taika and Jermaine and Rhys Darby doing that. But
and they've got full freedom to really go crazy, whereas this is still within a kind of confined shell. I'm very aware of those confines in these films. I've talked about that a lot this year, and I think maybe it's because we're watching more movies than ever, but you're becoming so aware of, okay, you've got this set, and we're spending quite a lot of time in this set or this set, like Hulk's room.
Oh, yeah.
You will see so much of that. Like, the first time you see that set, you're like, great. And then you go, yeah, those actors, that's the Taika shoot. Is not rainbow bridges and spaceships and everything. The Taika shoot is that four-walled Thor set with the actors talking in there.
Yeah.
That's what Taika did.
Yeah, and as much as I did love that Sakaar kind of area, they tread water in Sakaar something chronic. They are just there, just doing some stuff, and it's like, oh, okay, all right, I'm ready to get to the next thing, guys.
But man, I'll watch this like 10 times over Dark World
Oh, Dark World is unwatchable.
or the original Thor. Like,
No, I like
the original Thor.
like the original
at the
Thor.
beginning.
Yeah.
I think that second half, again, like it gets stuck in this small set. It becomes in this like town and then nothing happens and you just...
The ending's good though. The other thing that kind of annoys me, and this is, for me to say this is a very big thing, but I'm pretty sick of Loki. I'm sick of him. And I think the reason is that, you know, he's in the first Thor movie, he's fucking magnificent. Like, that was the breakthrough performance for Tom Hiddleston. He was fantastic, a great character. First Avengers movie, he was such a vicious, charismatic villain. It was a great character again. And now he's just so impotent.
Yeah, you're right. There's no menace to him whatsoever. He's not a threat. When you think that all of the Avengers assembled to fight him in the first one, and, you know, like taking the eye out and bullying everyone outside the opera, or, you know, literally spitting like at Black Widow up against the glass and stuff. And then he's just like a weird comic relief. Plus, he's like jokey sidekick. And I'm like, you know what? I would rather just have them put him out to pasture than to continue him like they are. I don't want this. I love him. I don't want this. And trim out all his fucking reaction shots. There's a lot of like fan-pleasing jokes in here from, you know, references to the other films and things that have happened in the other films. And the amount of times like you get a close-up of Hiddleston like reacting to something and I'm like, oh, I hate that. I hate it when humour draws attention to itself like that. I think of those movies, like, you know, those early Jim Carrey ones where he's doing something wacky and then it cuts to people going, oh my God, I can't believe how wacky this character is. Can you believe it, audience? Can you believe what's happening here? It's like, no, just fucking do it. Like, let's just make it organic. I'm sounding way more negative than I think I felt.
But that's the thing though. I enjoyed it, but there's a lot to pick on in this film, I think. And I'm like, I wasn't going into this movie at all wanting to be negative or to pick shit apart. And so that's the other thing that's kind of really disappointing to me, that I saw all those seams and all those little things.
I'm going to play devil's advocate though, because I also understand that, like, if you just rolled into this and had a heap of fun, then...
and that's great. And
yeah, more power to you. What else do you want from a movie, in a way?
Yeah.
And also to go, well, look, you know, it's fucking Thor. Like, how serious do you want it to be? No, exactly. You're right. Like, I don't see the room in there. There's nothing in there where I'm saying, oh, this should have been really serious, or why didn't you spend time with this? That's not what this thing is. Like, from top to bottom, start to finish. It's not like, oh, you're doing it wrong. This should have been played with more... No, because it's not in that script. It doesn't exist. But... And I also understand that there's a point where, like, I know for me, although I did sort of falter on this, when we first saw Force Awakens, I had my critique. And then the more I watched it, the more I loved it. Now I just unequivocally love it. And for me now to hear people go, oh yeah, but they did this, or shouldn't they have done this, or whatever, even if those things are kind of valid, I just don't want to hear it. I'm like, I love this movie. Like, I have so much fun with it. I'm not interested in you trying to find the flaws to make me have less fun. And I can totally understand if someone feels like that with Thor, because you go and you have a laugh and you have a great time, and that's really cool. But then I also think, well, we've got to do something here to justify having a podcast. And I think if you look at the way we talk about these things, in a way, we're more like taking that needle and trying to bring it back into the center with all of these things that we talk about. Apart from our, like, I'm going to fucking fan out about Last Jedi, I'm sure. You know, there are those sorts of things. But you look at, that's what it was about Batman vs. Superman for me. It was like, it was, the negativity was so beyond what I think was actually happening in that film. And the reasons for disliking it were so bizarre compared to what I think was actually wrong with it in terms of the structure and the premise, that we were kind of trying to push that needle back into a middle ground and go, well, no, it's not the, like, we've seen fucking 10 times worse than that this year already. And I think the same here is like when that needle goes all into that, oh, this is just like this flawless, amazing, let's have every movie like this. It's like, no, I don't want every movie like this because, it was a blast, but...
it had no heart, and it was really funny. You know, the last movie we saw was Brigsby Bear, which was all heart, and then coming into Thor, which is all flashbang and kind of no emotion and nothing there. It was like, well, I mean, it was fun, but, you know, eating a bucket full of candy is fun, but you're not going to feel that great after it.
And even like Guardians 2, which is fun and funny, has more feels and more attempts at feels, and more sort of chance to ground something, or, you know, with the father storyline and things like that, trying to find something there. Whereas I think that this is just, I kind of, I think it was an IO9 article, and I kind of balked at what Taika said with this idea of, he said something like, I think I could bring something unique to any of the Marvel movies. And I thought, well, I think you would bring this in. And I think there's also that point where you're going to then go, so is it a Black Widow movie which has people you've cast from your other movies with the humour that you've used in your other movies? Because if that's the case, then that's not necessarily what I'm looking for.
I don't want to see a Taika Captain America movie with Captain America and Bucky running around quipping at each other. Like, I don't want that.
No, I want to be true to the character and the franchise and everything. I mean, I think Thor, you had nothing to lose.
Oh, no, exactly. Dark World was an absolute piece of shit, and the only way was up, really. Yeah,
and you were going to take it into space, and you were going to go Kirby, and I think they did obviously give him quite a bit of freedom, especially when you think that, you know, wasn't that long ago you've got Ant-Man, where Edgar Wright wants to make it into an Edgar Wright movie, and they're like, well, no, you're not going to do that. It's going to be house style. And this...
You know, it's funny. Ant-Man was on TV the other week, and I watched it, and... I remember at the time being a little bit like, well, it was fine. It was just solid. It was nothing special. But watching it again, like Ant-Man is funny and feelsy, but it's because of Paul Rudd. Yeah. Really, it's the competence of that actor in that role being able to do that really well, which again is something that maybe some of the Thor actors are not quite as, diverse in that area.
That's that sort of tricky thing for someone like Taika, and I think it follows... It's hard because he's like so much more talented than a lot of people, and sharp and funny, but really his best work for me is where he is central to it, where he's a part of it. And the reason he needs to be a part of it, like Boy, where he plays the father, is because you can't separate him from the work. So the problem is when he's not in it, but they're all very much doing that Taika style, is you feel like you're watching Hemsworth Taika walk around in a Hemsworth mask or whatever. Like you can't, you hear the lines and you're not attributing them to the character, you're attributing them to Taika. Like you're always feeling like, oh, this is Taika, as opposed to this is Thor. In the same way that you do a lot of the time with like Tarantino or at the worst end of the spectrum like Kevin Smith, where someone's talking and you're just like, well, this is Kevin Smith. This isn't a character. This is you. And I want you to create something where I just love that character, where I come out thinking that character's so fantastic. But the thing is, and I guess he's carried this through by being present at all the interviews and everything like that, and we've all enjoyed it. But it means that... in a way, he's too present in the film in a way that doesn't allow me to invisibly just dive into the story.
And I would say that, similarly, I think that the Korg character does take over a little bit in some scenes, to the point where you're just sort of all about Korg, and then you're not kind of thinking about the other characters that are actually important in the story. Because Korg's funny, but Korg is a vanity character.
Yeah, and there are a lot of characters that, like they're almost all in different films. Like styles are quite different, you know, and that's where I think Ruffalo looks really lost, because I think he's probably used to playing more grounded, but in some scenes he's not just in space, but he's against complete cartoon characters. And it's like, oh, hang on, I've gone from, you know, Civil War or something like that. He's not in Civil War.
No, it was he Age of Ultron? Yeah, that's the one where he left.
But I've gone from, you know, something like that to like a Roger Rabbit movie. And how do I reconcile that when some of these characters are so broad that, they're all sort of different. Anyway, that's Thor. I'm sure that'll ruffle some feathers, but still at a 3.5. That's a 7 out of 10.
Yeah, that's a pass. And, look, we're not... Like, if you loved it, great, good. That was the point of the movie. Like, if you laughed, you had a good time, that was the point.
I definitely recommend it. Suzanne wants to see it. I'm not talking around, but I'm saying let's go. I'm looking forward to seeing it again. It's very entertaining, very funny.
It is. Though I do kind of, and this was one of the sort of first things that I think I probably brought up after the movie, is like, if you're going to do Ragnarok, right? Like, there's a lot of cool shit to do with Ragnarok, and I felt like there was some missed opportunities. And like, I know this is a comic book thing and they're not going to do Ragnarok properly, and I knew that, and I had no issues with what they did do, but there was something big missing that I felt could have been a real showcase fight, and it sucks they didn't have it. But, whatever. That's fine. Whatever.
That's the way these movies always work, and I don't know why we would ever think any different, but we do. I reckon with the exception of Star Wars, because they do keep stuff up their sleeve. But really, Marvel, they don't with Marvel. It's so interesting that, both Disney properties, but Disney hides everything about Star Wars. You go into Force Awakens, there's so much you've never seen before. Whereas you go into any of these Marvel movies, you've seen all the big beats already. You've seen all the characters. You've seen all the creatures. Like, you really go into this. You've seen everything already.
Yeah,
and I think
have.
That's
and
it. If you like the trailer, you've seen this film.
And that was the thing. Like, you're thinking, oh, wow, how are they going to defeat that thing? And it's like, oh, probably with that really big shot in the trailer that we haven't seen yet. Yeah, that'd be it.
And you think, as an audience member, you watch these trailers and you think, oh, like, look at all the promise. Look how rich this world is. If we're seeing this, we're going to go see this. That's how I was with Guardians. And you realise, no, the only thing you haven't seen, and it was the same with Guardians, it's the same with this, the only thing you haven't seen is
the standing in rooms
where they're standing
talking.
in rooms talking.
Yeah.
That's all you haven't seen. And this is lucky because there's some actually very funny dialogue. But really, whether it was Guardians, whether it's this, all you've missed by not seeing the movie is the standing talking scenes. Standing on a set, and sets that you will see a lot.
Yep.
Talking. Yeah, and that's it. It was the same with like Guardians. You realise, I guess we can talk more freely about it now, that okay, the only thing I really didn't see was him and Kurt Russell standing in this room talking. But everything else I'd seen. But your mind is like, I don't know why, you think, that's why in a way something like Force Awakens was great, and the way they do that with the trailers, because you want a movie to suddenly go in a direction you weren't expecting. So I remember watching that Rathtar sequence and thinking, what the fuck is this? Like, where is this coming from? Because you just never seen it.
Yeah, I think the last, maybe Winter Soldier probably did, but the last Marvel movie that I can think of that really kept everything up its sleeve was Iron Man 3. Like, all you saw in Iron Man 3 was that very, very first bit where the house is blowing up. You don't see anything of that film, and that was fantastic. That film was such a lovely surprise, but I don't know if they were just panicking about Thor, and they just wanted to get bums on seats, and so they're just like, look at the big fire thing, look at the crazy lady with the big head thing, like,
Yeah, like, they just don't have that faith, because that really, I can't stress that enough, that that ultimately is what you haven't seen. America, if you're listening to this and going, well, it's the people in room scenes. That's all you've missed.
And the scene where Hela destroys Mjolnir, the original trailer looks different, but the new trailer that I've seen on TV now has the movie shot.
Yeah, we've talked about that recently as well, haven't we? Like, seeing scenes or dialogue on different backgrounds in trailers.
And it was, in this instance, it was so jarring.
Yeah,
like,
it was
really jarring.
Hang on, that's happening here? I thought that was somewhere completely different.
Because in the trailer it looked good, and here it looks fucking awful.
Yeah. Yeah, and it made you realise that, you're not really in that location because you've very easily changed it from...
Someone just copy-pasted a different picture behind you.
What we saw in the trailer. Yeah. Look, that's nearly time. I do want to talk about Strange... Oh, God, we haven't even talked about Bachelor.
We can still do it. It could be a big one.
I don't want to do a big one. Stranger Things 2. I watched it all. I'm probably going to sound like a wet blanket again on this. Again, entertaining. Like, I watched 9 episodes pretty much in a row. So I wasn't hating it. It wasn't like Defenders where I watched it like 3 and then disappeared for a long time. So, absolutely enjoying it. I love Stranger Things. There's so much of it that works, but for me, nothing is surprising about it. There was nothing in there, not a single idea I can think of where I went, holy shit, what's going to happen next? I can't see this coming, or this is a big reveal. It's very much a follow-on from the first one. I was kind of hoping, I know there would be this thing, like if it was a totally different thing happening to these kids, you might go, well, hang on, what's the likelihood of this happening, But at the same time, I kind of wouldn't mind that, but it really does just mine the loose threads from the previous one. And although the episodes are quite fast-paced and, do move along, after 9 hours of it, I could probably tell you what happened in a couple of sentences, you know what I mean? Like in terms of the major beats, like there's nothing massive. And I think my biggest problem with it overall was that I love those kids. I love those kids as a team. And they're just not together very much at all. Like they're split up, they're all over the place, and they just don't have those scenes. There is a sequence, obviously no spoilers, at the very end, which has them all together, and it's fantastic. Like probably the most engaging sequence in the whole thing. And for me, I was like, I wish you'd found more opportunities to mine that sort of storytelling throughout, because I just don't think that there's any big surprises, or even things like loose threads in terms of, well, what about Barb? Everyone said you didn't care enough about Barb, so they're like, there's a lot dedicated, a few episodes where some characters are like, okay, well, we've got to think about Barb and sort this out. It doesn't really go anywhere though, it becomes like that sort of service of, we addressed it, but you're like, at the end, you're like, well, did you? Because, I don't feel any more about it. So, lost a bit of its shine for me. Like, I still recommend it, and I was very excited about it. But because there's not enough new, and the couple of things that are new didn't really resonate with me. There's actually a sort of subplot that happens with 11 where I was like, I'm kind of drifting now. I wanted it to be about the core kids more than anything, and they're just sharing too much screen time with all this extra stuff. A new kid comes in and doesn't really get the chance to... I know, they're all like sort of chasing the plot, I guess, and they don't have a lot of room to breathe. So,
because the whole thing of the first one was, oh look, it's these charming kids being good actors and doing good things, and now people expect that again, and we want something beyond charming kids being good actors.
And I want them to be the focal point. I want them to be working together, and there are certain kids here that are kept apart for a very, very long time. And then, like Finn Wolfhard, who was in It, who was fucking great in It. Like, I just feel like he barely has any screen time in this. It's like, he was up front and center in the last one. But, they just don't have their moments. So, still churning out some really nice performances, and there's some really cool ideas. But I think when you saw the poster with the big hole in the sky and the tentacle things and all that, I think there was potential for this to really kick off in unexpected ways. And I don't think it really ever does. I think it's really good, but it feels now like they're not in a rush to throw in too many ideas too soon, because they could do 6 seasons now. The first one, it's like we're putting all this stuff in, and you got to remember as well with the first one, you're being introduced to all this stuff for the first time, and you're piecing together things over time. Like, you don't know what Eleven's deal is for a while. You don't know what the creature is that's out there, and you don't know, you're learning it all, and you're discovering things alongside the characters. But I feel like that world has been discovered now. And now we're looking at other aspects of it, and sort of a little bit more about the lore maybe, but nothing's really new. And you can't discover it all twice. And it just feels like, you see this a lot, I think, with particularly American TV, where you cram in so many interesting ideas at the beginning. This might be the only season. We've got to just do everything we want to do. And then you go, if it's a success, it's like, oh, now we actually got to put on the brakes. Now we've got to go the other way because we want to be able to maybe do, they start plotting, well, what are the next 3 seasons? And although you watched 9 episodes instead of 8, you feel like it's just a little advance forward compared to where we were last time. So
Yeah, season 2 panic is a real thing. And
Yeah.
I've seen it in a lot of TV shows. Like, one of my favourite shows is Friday Night Lights, and the first season is perfect. Like, it could stand alone as a season, and then they get season 2, and they're like, oh, let's introduce an awkward murder subplot in this little small-town football TV show. And it's like, nah. And they very quickly realise their mistake, tidy all those loose ends up, and then never speak of it again. So bizarre.
Yeah, so, again, recommended, but it's a 3.5 where I was hoping for a 5.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so finally, The Bachelorette finished up. Sophie Monk finally found true love in the only way possible, which was on TV, because, of her awesomest Maximus fame.
Yep.
And she chose...
She chose the millionaire in a big surprise to nobody.
Worth $500 million. Chose him instead of Jared.
The stage 5 clinger.
Yeah. I
And
felt
it
bad for him, though.
Yeah, I mean, it played out exactly the way that everybody thought it would.
And it was a boring bit of TV,
Well,
too.
yeah, the Wednesday episode, she said goodbye to Apollo, who was lovely in defeat. He was so lovely to her and thanked her for believing in him and all this stuff. I'm like, oh my God, Apollo, you precious baby. And then so it left the showdown between Jared and Stuart. And yeah, Jared, I mean, I felt bad for him, but he wasn't dealing with the relationship in a super healthy way.
I agree. He definitely wore his heart on his sleeve, and he was very keen very quickly. But she liked him the whole time. Must have been something there.
There must have been, but...
Do you think that we saw a lot of badness from him? Because, there was a lot of that, like, oh, you uptight dipshit. But a lot of that was in reaction to being, like, pushed by Blake, for example. And Blake...
Oh, he got bullied early on, definitely, yeah.
And Blake, I like least of everybody. Like, he became a real asshole. And then when we found out that in real life he'd beaten somebody up, like, less, a couple of k's away from my house, had, like, beaten a dude up and, gone to court and everything, I was like, no, you're just not just a bully and an arrogant sort of guy, but you're actually, like, pretty toxic, dangerous person. So, when everyone's like, oh, Jared, it's just a pot plant. It's like, if Blake had pissed in my pot plant and was there with his, like, evil grin, laughing and denying it and stuff, you would see an uptight side of me for sure. So, I don't know. But he didn't have a shot.
No, God. I mean, even though I didn't... Like, the 2 options that she had in the end were not great options, really. Like, Jared was a bit weird, and Stu was rich and relatively good looking. Like, out of the 2, obviously Stu's the better looking one, but there's still something a little bit off about him. But, I mean, that's fine.
I think what I realised, though, because I went through this little bachelorette phase, I watched a few different seasons, and I very rarely watch the finale. I get to about 3 episodes to go and I just read the synopsis on Wikipedia. And it's because the sad, ugly reality for me about reality TV is that I watch it to be outraged and judgmental about horrendous people. And I'm hoping to see them get punished. Like, but once that's all happened and those people are gone, you spend the whole time going, what's this dickhead doing here? They should kick him out, kick him out, kick him out. They kick him out, and you're like, oh, this is fucking dull. Like, nothing is happening now. So, yeah, I'm kind of maybe reached the end of my... I can see all the seams now. I think the allure has gone.
Yeah, and I think the problem with this season is that all the dudes were kind of shit, really. Like, last season with... Georgia Love's season, I liked all those boys, even the kind of shitty ones. I still really enjoyed. Like,
then you're an enabler.
Was it Sam? Was it Shitty Sam?
Yeah.
Yeah, I loved Sam. Sam was a complete dick, but in the end, at least he was honest about why he was there. And, yeah, I don't know. Just these guys were just kind of shit, and I had no investment in it. And like last season, I was sad. I was sad when Matty J got rejected because he was a beautiful angel, and I didn't want to see him cry.
No, he's on a, pad ad. They're all just actors. They're all just actors and people who want to be famous.
They are. Oh, and Stu was on, SBS did
he was on another reality show.
Yeah, it was like Filthy Rich and Homeless. Yeah, where they would get rich people to live like a homeless person for a night so they could talk to the camera at the end and go, man, being homeless is bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I know that already without having to sleep out.
Yep.
There you go. I was going to say I'm kind of done, but aren't we getting Bachelor in Paradise soon?
Oh, yeah. I'm looking forward to that, though.
Yeah, we'll watch that.
Because that's all your favourites coming together to get angry at each other. Yahoo!
Yes. Well,
and then maybe bone each other, and then get angry at each other after boning each other. Yahoo!
An angry bone. All right. Well, I think that's it. I think that's all you get. That was pretty substantial.
Yeah.
So thanks everybody for listening. Please make sure you go to fruitlesspursuits.com to find out everything else that we're doing. I heartily recommend tomorrow's Dungeons and Drongos episode. It's the first part of the Halloween special, and it's called The Haunted Bakery, and it is a cracker. We had a lot of fun doing that one. And also Half Hour History is coming out this week, and that's going to tie into Thor.
It's about Ragnarok.
It's about Ragnarok.
So you're going to find out all the stuff that you didn't get to see in the movie.
About the real Ragnarok. So we're going to do that. We're going to record that right now. So that's why I'm keen to get the fuck out of this show and slip into something more comfortable. Where I don't even have to read notes. So yeah, thanks for listening. Go to our Facebook group and chat about this and anything else, and
tell us how we're wrong for not completely giving Thor 5 stars out of 5.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
And yeah.
Camel up.